There's something about action that I guess I have a question about, because I'm unclear, because I've heard you so many times say, I am not trying to talk you out of action.
Yeah, we're not trying to talk you out of action.
You say that a lot.
Yeah, we're not trying to talk you out of action. We're not trying to talk any of you out of action. Because, action is so delicious. Aligned action, on the right path action, inspired action, right place, right time action, rendezvous action, tuned in, tapped in, turned on action, action in conjunction with source flowing through you action. Ooh, nothing better than that. So path of most resistant action.
Yeah. And so I guess that's so the inspired action and the, I'm going to talk to somebody or make a call or do something, that inspired action is easier. Like, I get it in terms of the feeling of it. And then when I'm looking at something and saying, well, I should move that forward. I should take some action on that to move it forward.
Well, you're coming to a really good question. So you all get it that you are vibrational beings. We already talked about that, and you said yes, and we're holding you to it. You're vibrational beings. And there is some sense, we can feel it within you. You get it that by knowing what you don't want, you know what you do want, and that you are sifting through life, and that you have devised a rather clear, we're going to use the word impression because we're talking about your understanding of this vibrational reality that you have crafted. There is a vibrational reality that you have crafted that most humans are oblivious to, because you're so busy looking at what's manifested already or what's manifested right now that you don't allow yourself to be as excited as we would be if we were standing in your physical shoes about what you've created that is yet to be revealed. Those aren't the words that we really want to say. It's not that they are being revealed to you. It's that you are finding a vibration that allows you to realize them. So in our conversation, we've convinced you it's nice of you to come and hang out with non-physical. It's nice of you to accept that part of the equation. And in fact, until you do, you are running at a real disadvantage, because there can be no intuition, there can be no guidance if you don't factor in that whole part of the equation. So you've come along with that. We can feel you. You're there. You get it. You're ready to utilize your guidance. But still, we want to talk about the practicality. And it's important that you accept that it is a practical thing that we're talking about. The practicality of that vortex vibrational version of life that you have been crafting, that you're really going to like when you allow yourself to live it fully. That vibrational version is flowing into your realization. These thoughts are turning to things. They're turning to relationships. They're turning to empires. They're turning to money. They're turning to experiences. They're turning to life. They're turning into realized, see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, touch it, life. And so that transition from the invisible to the visible, to the unrealized to the realized, that's what we're talking about here. That's what you want to be ready for, and it's what you want to tune your clients to. You want them to be ready for it. But how are you going to be ready for something until you've acknowledged the concept of it? And how are you really going to get good at it until you've practiced your relationship with it? You got to practice your relationship with it. But what we mean by that is, so once you get it, that you're offering a vibration, and that the vibration that you're offering, let's call it a belief, has a relationship with your desire. When you want something and you totally believe it, it's happening all around you now. It just never holds out on you. When you want something and you believe it, it shows itself to you all day, every day. But if you want something that you doubt, that desire languishes in that vibrational inequality. It languishes in that vibrational inaccessibility, that vibrational disallowance. That you are the one who is disallowing it, because you're practicing a vibration that does not allow it to gain enough momentum that it ever gives itself to you. So here's how it works. So much to say to you. When you think a thought and the thought feels good to you and you're not contradicting it with anything, it's a simple enough thought, it's a thought that you already believe, and it's a good feeling thought. When you start out with a thought like that, as with any thought, law of attraction is responding to that thought, to that you point of attraction. And you point of attraction is what you're thinking, what you're offering vibrationally. Your vibrational output is your point of attraction, because what your output is what's coming back to you. So as you're offering that simple and yet non-resisted thought, let's call it a wobble-free thought. And the reason that it's wobble-free is because you're offering a vibration that is pure. You're not contradicting it with a contradictory thought. You're not saying, I want this, but that contradicts it. You're saying, I want this and I expect this, or I want this and I'm living this, or I want this and it already is. Those are wobble-free thoughts. Now, law of attraction is responding to that thought. Hold it for as little as 17 seconds. It becomes more. Another 17 seconds more. Momentum is always responding to the thought that you're offering. The question is, are you offering a pure thought, or are you offering a thought and a contradiction, a thought and a contradiction, a thought and a contradiction? What's making up your vibrational makeup? What's making up your point of attraction? Because you have the ability to think that and that and that and that. I want it, but 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 I've wanted it for a long time, but it hasn't come. I've wanted it for a long time. I hardly know anybody who has that. I really want it, but I 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 really, really want it, but I really want it. You're wobbling all over the place. Your point of attraction is bringing to you evidence of both. And as you are the realizer, and this is the thing that's most important to understand. It's not that the universe is bringing it and taking it away and bringing it and taking it away. Haven't said this to you before. It is not that the universe is bringing it to you and taking it away from you in the same seconds. It's that your ability to realize it is being clouded by the but. Your tuner is tuned to something different than the pure desire. So the momentum of your pure desire is high, but the momentum of your awareness within it is not. Now, we're getting a little too far out there for comfort in some cases, but this is really what we're getting at. If you will, in a really hands-on way with yourself, and guide your clients in the same way, if you will, just ask yourself this simple question when something manifests. How was I feeling about that before it manifested? How have I been feeling about that? What's the emotion? Because as you identify what the emotional content is, then you can figure out where that idea came from. You can figure out if it is an inspired from broader perspective, from big picture perspective, if it's guidance guiding you on the path of least resistance to the outcome you're looking for, or if it is something that's occurring to you because you've got an active vibration going on that has nothing to do with what you want, but in fact more about what you don't want than about what you do want. Are you following that? So this is the way we would play that. As you have a feeling, ask yourself, as something unfolds and you have a feeling about it, ask yourself, is this the feeling I've practiced myself into being? You can show yourself. You see, we don't want you to feel like you're on a treasure hunt out there where you're trying to find your way to the treasures that you've identified that you want. We want you to understand that you are the attractor of you upon the path that will lead you right exactly to each and everything that you want. And it's not just the end of the journey that's supposed to feel good, it's every step along the way. Because there is no end of the journey. It's always going to unfold into something more and something more and something more. So if you're not having fun, then you're missing the whole point of all of it anyway. We got a little deep into some new thoughts that you have not thought before. But what's going to happen to you over the next few days is you're going to be infinitely more aware of what the vibrational content is of the thoughts that you're pondering, and what the emotional feeling response to those thoughts is, for one reason and one reason only. The only reason in the world that you want to even care about that. You want to stop the wobble early on. Because if you catch that contradictory thought early, it's easy to back away from it. Esther still remembers the first time she saw the streets of San Francisco. She could not believe cars were driving on those hills. Imagine being at the top of one of those hills. You're looking way, 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 way down. Take your car out of gear, take the parking brake off, and decide you'd like to just have a personal experience with momentum. So you just nudge it from behind. Just nudge your car just a little bit and watch what happens next. Or come to your senses in the realization of what's going to happen next, because you sort of have a sense of that. And before it gets started, you just step right out in front of it and you let it bump up against you. You stop the momentum. You stop the unwanted momentum before it gets to a velocity that you can't stop it. You wouldn't want to be at the bottom of that hill stopping that momentum. And it's the same with all of this. You're wanting to encourage the momentum that feels good while you withdraw your attention from any thought that has any beginning of momentum that doesn't feel good. And that's how you teach intuition to others. Because when they realize the correlation between how that felt and how it was realized, how it turned out, now you've got your hands in the clay. Now you know what you're doing. Now you can practice that until you get better. And with every deliberate thought is going to come a universal response that you will be more likely now to realize, so that your hands in the clay. Deliberate creating is more fun. Not one of you can't imagine being a sculptor. You take a big clump of clay, just splat it down and say, oh, well, that didn't turn out right. I guess this is not my vocation. Well, I thought I'd be better at it than that. I don't know how those other people get it to look so good. And it's because they did more than just that. And you want to too. You want to do that and feel how it felt and see how it looks, and then do something else with it and see how it felt and see how it looks. Think and feel, think and feel, think and feel, until you show yourself that you can feel deliberately because you can focus deliberately. And then when you put two and two together, that the universe is responding to you, only to you, only to you. It's only ever been that, to you, to you. All that assertion that you've been assigning to all those others who have been getting in your way had nothing to do with them, just the thoughts you thought about them getting in your way. Oh, nice to know. So we laid a big basis. So now where are you?
So it's on thinking of or viewing the thought itself, whatever comes to me, also as a manifestation. And how do I feel about that?
We love hearing that from you, because that thought is a manifestation. So let's just define manifestation in a way that you can really hear it in the way we mean it. Manifestation is something you're realizing in response to the vibration that you're offering. So emotions are manifestations, and ideas are manifestations, impulses are manifestations. Yeah, the full-blown car in the garage is a manifestation, yes, of course. But there are so many manifestations that if you are alert to them and aware of them and deliberately looking for them and finding them and tuning yourself in order to observe the next and the next and the next, before you know it, you can be a co-creative partner with source energy in all moments of your day, right place, right time, all the time.